So it's mid-July and my yard is just looking pretty bad. It's the worst I've ever had it, but it's been a challenging year for sure. It's just dead, neglected. I've been in and out of the state, going back home, but I'll just show you what my backyard orchard is looking like. I have a ton of pears. This is the most I've seen on this tree since I lived here. And I said I was going to top it off and I never did. So now it goes all the way to the sky. But I'm excited about it. And I have rosemary in here along with some thyme. I have this cage around here because my dogs like to get in here and dig around. Oh, it's like it's dying off. I still have some of those alive in there. Again, like I said, it was neglected. And this is my strawberry tower. I did not grow anything at the top, and I had started wildflowers on the empty ones. They didn't really take off, but these strawberries have gone pretty wild for being pretty neglected. They have been shooting out all these runners. I've just been tucking them here and there, and I will separate them a little later. But I did this spring, and then family tragedy happened, and I ended up having to leave my state, go across the country a couple of times. But this has done remarkably well so far. I'm pretty impressed. I do have a full tutorial on my blog of how I did this and what type of strawberries I used. If you are interested in that, you can check that out. Oh, I thought that was a runner, but it looks like it's going to be a start of one. I'll have to keep an eye on that. My cherry tree has been already harvested for the year. It's empty. And it just got through a really hot day, so it looks pretty withered. I did water. Doesn't look like it, but I did. We are in a drought. I am in Utah, and we are in 100% drought. And this is my phenomenal lavender. There's 2 plants in here, and I did fence it off this year because I had one right here and it died because my dogs use it as their bathroom and it killed it. So I didn't want the same defeat happening with these 2, so I had to fence it off, and it's doing really well. And it does have more lavender, but I did not get around to harvesting that because I left it for the bees, and I've been extremely busy and neglecting my garden this year because I had, like I said, a really sad event happen in my family where my dad passed away on May 29th. That was really hard. So I haven't been outside much taking care of my garden. And my mom just left. She was visiting me for a couple weeks, and I just wanted to spend all my time with her. So this I'm very sad about. It was doing really well, remarkably well, and I did fence it off too because my dogs do like to come in here and dig. One day I'd like to completely fence off my orchard from them because they are pretty destructive. And this was a chamomile plant that I was growing with my son, my 16-year-old. He drinks a concoction of chamomile tea mixed with tart cherry juice for a nightly routine, and it helps his anxiety. And I'm pretty sad that this died. I'll have to try again. I don't know if it died because it was doing really well, I didn't water it, or if it's just end of life happened for it and a new life will begin next year. So we'll see. This is my quince tree. I did a hard prune on it for the first time since I lived here. And I do have some quince on here, but since I did a huge pruning on it, I'm not going to get a lot this year, which I'm fine with because I have a lot of quince jam, quince pie filling, all in my pantry still from the years before. And it's just so much for me, and I have also given it to some friends, a lot of it, so it'll be fine just to have a few jars or so for the year. And they do look really well, like remarkably well. That pruning was very necessary. There's hardly any damage because they were getting pretty bad looking, but these are all pretty healthy, so that was very necessary that I did a hard pruning on this. So they're all looking rather well for being neglected. So I don't see that many. Like I said, they probably all up there. So that is the end of my tiny backyard orchard. So I'm gonna go to my poor vegetable patch. Did have a sunstorm. No, it's sunstorm. We do have sunstorms every day, it seems like, because it's drought. A windstorm come through here yesterday, and it toppled a sunflower. I'll have to rip that out. I didn't want this many sunflowers this year, but like I said, those who made it through my sun forest maddening, I was chopping down a whole bunch of sunflowers. This whole thing was covered with sunflowers. So these guys survived it. I let them be because I just got tired. And I left for the state. I left the state. And so when I got back, I just let whoever survived grow. And here is my pumpkins. One sad little vine going up. He made its way. He found his way up there. So that's great to know that one did it. I'll have to come through and do some cuttings off of the dead stuff here. And I forget what's in here. I just know that there's like sugar pumpkins and buttercup pumpkins and stuff like that, or squash, buttercup squash and stuff, and butternuts and buttercup. They're both in here. But it's just sad that one little vine made it so far, and he doesn't even look that great. Everything looks stunted because it's hot, and everything else looks stunted because I've been neglecting them. Oh, whoopee. Okay, I want to go through my tunnel thing, whatever, trellis. Yeah, he's in my walkway. I have to cut that off, cut it down. That's gonna be a job. And I had some projects in here that I was doing that got put on hold and pretty neglected. Story of my life this year and the past year. This was supposed to be some beans, like pole beans growing up this. They look like they're doing it. But again, stunted, probably because it's hot. And there's some squash. And I was supposed to harvest those garlic at the beginning of this month, and I didn't because, again, neglected. Also, my garage door is stuck. My shovel is in there. Everything is in there. Even my little hand shovel is in there. And I could yank those out, but I doubt that I'll be successful. So I have to figure out how to open my garage door. I had my 18-year-old son trying to help me, and it was just too hard. I don't know what happened I have to figure it out. We'll figure it out. And that is another project, the potato tower. They should have been harvested a long time ago. I will empty it out and show everybody what it looks like, to see what that harvest would look like, because I've never done that before, and I know many people have done it, but I'm curious to know if it works even if you neglected it all summer long like I did. And Here's another sunflower that's not supposed to be in there, but more beans. And then I got tomatoes. I don't want to go in there. I got more tomatoes all the way back. And I got lots of weeds and lots of peppers. Hot and sweet peppers are in here. The peppers are pretty good looking, so I'm happy about that. Let's see if I can zoom up on it. There's one growing. That's exciting. So, and there, oh wow, there's some back there too. I'll have to get in there and see what I can pick. There's some green tomatoes. When my mom was here, we did harvest some green tomatoes, and I cooked her up some fried green tomatoes. And we watched the movie Fried Green Tomatoes and enjoyed our time together. It's one of her favorite dishes and one of her favorite movies. And now one of my favorite movies, because it was a good movie. So I cannot remember if sweet was on this side and hot was on that side or vice versa. I did have a marker and it got completely destroyed. And I do have a carrot right here that I am letting go to seed. Probably won't be very good seeds to harvest, but I'm gonna try it. And then a lot more sunflowers and some walking, what do you call it, Egyptian walking onions in here, and it's badly weeded, like overgrown with weeds and sunflowers. Can't talk. But if you notice, I have a fence around a pathetic one around my garden to keep my dogs out. They can still get in, but it still is a barrier. I put a bucket over here on each end because there's a gap that they can squeeze through. And so when my dad passed away, I would be out here, and on the very top of this obelisk, which is an upside down tomato cage, there was a huge dragonfly. I will show the image on the screen here when I edit this, but yeah, it was very beautiful. Every time I came out here, he was out here. And my mom bought me a beautiful dragonfly at Rainbow Gardens when we were there shopping by the river, just as a memorial of like the beautiful dragonfly that kept visiting me after Dad passed away. Made me feel better. Back here is this whole fence. It's all vines of Concord grapes. I have a Concord grapevine back here, and I have not walked over there to see. I really don't want to because I'm barefoot. I don't know why I didn't put my shoes on. Maybe I can zoom. Probably won't see any grapes. Maybe not. Really should have thought about putting shoes on before I came out here. There's some. There are supposed to be green balls right now, so I know there are a lot out there, over there, because I was back here the other day when I did have shoes on, but I definitely don't want to go out here with just my bare feet, which I'm always in my bare feet, because my dogs, go to the bathroom out here, and I don't want to step in anything. So I'm already risking it going this far, but mostly they go past the garden and back. So I'm pretty safe up here because they like to play and they don't do anything up here. Their play yard. But yeah, I look at past years when everything was going great in my life. This was so lush and green. But last year and this year have been pretty bad. Tragedies happening after tragedy in my family. And I was sick a lot, almost a whole year last year, and then losing my dad this year. It was hard to stay on top of everything, but Just wanted to do a quick garden update. I had some people asking me what my garden looks like this year. It's not too impressive. It's not impressive like at all. But that's just part of life. Thank you for watching.